Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. It is News Done Differently. It is the 11th day of April, 2022. And we do thank you very much for watching, as always. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're on. Most of the time, it's 10 o'clock or 10:30. Tomorrow night, it'll be 10:30 for our Tuesday update. And again, thank you for watching. We begin tonight with news from Pakistan. Those that watched last night's episode know that there was a major demonstration, which we showed, when Imran Khan, the sitting prime minister, was voted out of office with a no confidence vote. That came on the heels of him trying to dismantle Parliament, so they could not vote no confidence in him. And it was a massive demonstration. 100 of his supporters walked out of the Parliament in Pakistan. And today, Shahbaz Sharif was sworn in as Pakistan's new prime minister. And Sharif is considered to be more favorable to the United States than the previous prime minister. I tell you all of this, and we lead with this, and yet some of you are probably going, well, what do we care? We need to care, because where Pakistan is at geopolitically, and where they're at within their internal politics, both are significant. We'll zoom out here just a little bit, and here we go. Pakistan is right down here. India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and then you get into the former Soviet republics: Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan is right here, even though it's not labeled, Kazakhstan. So what's happening in Pakistan can potentially impact India. What happens in India can potentially impact Nepal. China and India, long disagreements over Nepal. India and Pakistan, long disagreements over Kashmir. This prime minister is saying he wants better negotiation or better relations with India. These things all matter because there is going to be major unrest, more than likely, within Pakistan over these two factions: the pro Amir Khan faction, and who was leading Pakistan more towards Russian philosophy and away from Western philosophy. So the potential is big for unrest in Pakistan, which again can trigger numerous different things. Afghanistan is already on alert, preparing for Pakistan to do something. Pakistan was going to be launching a missile, a test missile, but with the political upheaval, I believe that has been delayed a day or two. Now, tomorrow is going to be a significant day. It is 10:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we're broadcasting this, and so it is already the 12th. So later on tonight is going to be significant. We'll talk about that coming up in just a couple of moments. I'll leave the map up there for the moment. The U.S. orders all non-essential government staff in Shanghai, China, to leave due to a COVID surge and the impact of Chinese restrictions. As much as we would like, COVID is not over, and I don't know. It appears like something else might be going on in Shanghai. I had videos earlier today. I don't have them in our list, but there's supposedly food shortages, yet there's food. I've got video of food rotting in a warehouse. So um, something's happening in China, but nonetheless, the U.S. has ordered all non-essential government staff in Shanghai to leave due to COVID surge and the impact of Chinese restrictions. Also today, China flew 2 jet aircraft into Taiwanese airspace, which it was a obvious provocation, and there was no military response. There was no engagement. Jared Kushner, the former White House employee and rather estranged son-in-law of ex-President Donald Trump, got $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. Now, his security clearance when he was at the White House, the 4 years he was at the White House, he was rejected twice for access to secure documents because of suspected foreign entanglements. Okay. And during this time, an American journalist was not only murdered, but was dismembered in Saudi Arabia. And Trump overrode the career officials who said that, Kushner should not have clearance, and he gave him access to top secret information. Now, suddenly, Saudi Arabia gives Kushner $2 billion, and Kushner needs $1.2 billion to pay off a loan that is about to go default on his property, one of his properties in New York City, which is at 666 5th Street in New York City. So it might be Fifth Avenue, but coincidence. So whenever you hear Hunter Biden's laptop, just ask them if they know about Jared Kushner's $2 billion. He and Ivanka also made $450 million while they were in the White House on other deals, on jobs that are supposed to pay between $40,000 and $60,000. These things aren't talked about enough, and it scares me. It scares me that people aren't talking about these things. Russians' use of chemical weapons in Mariupol today. That was going to be our headline before other things happened. Earlier this morning, there was a report from the Azov Battalion, which is the entrenched forces inside of Mariupol that are keeping Russia from taking over the city. Earlier this morning, a Russian official basically said, we're going to have to gas the moles and smoke them out of their holes because we will lose too many troops going in there and trying to root them out. And they attempted this today with a drone, a release of an unknown gas, believed to be sarin. But again, without independent journalists in there, it's hard to verify things. My verification came from a Ukrainian minister of parliament at 3:38 this afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So while it's not making its way out to the West, a drone used some sort of poisonous gas to try to basically uproot this very strategically and effectively embedded fighting force. They're in a chemical plant a former chemical plant before it was blown up. So lots of places to hide, lots of places to maneuver, lots of places to ambush. And Russians will indeed lose a lot of their soldiers trying to get them out of there. It was a low-scale attack. 3 people were injured, and we're basing it, we're saying without confirmation, sarin, because of the effects it had on the 3 people that were injured. Some in the open source intelligence community are saying that this is just like a probe attack. Like, Chris and I talked a lot about, what would happen here, here, and here, and here over numerous different scenarios everywhere from Israel and Palestine to the riots, the attempted overthrow of the government in the United States to what is potentially happening here. And he always, he talked about, you do a probe to see how the defenses react. So a lot of people are thinking this could possibly be a test, a smaller drone that just dispersed a small amount of chemicals to see if it had an impact, to see if America would react, to see if this is a red line. So look for the next attack of this kind to be much bigger and much more evident. Okay. And as more information is gathered on this, we will make sure and pass it along. Also today, satellite photos of the Russian warship following the USS Harry Truman, and the Russian warship is CVN 75 and maintains a distance about 200 kilometers away from our carrier. This is the area we're talking about as far as where it's at in the ocean. And then these were spotted. So again, thank you for watching. It's News Done Differently. It's Monday night, the 11th of April. And I want to show you this. This was earlier tonight. Trump spoke earlier tonight as well. And Trump said that, ex-President Trump said that he had about 11,000 boats, B-O-A-T-S, in a parade, a water parade, and 700 tractors in a tractor parade in Iowa. And therefore he won the election. But this is Roger Stone. And here's what Roger had to say.
Eating, country club belonging, corrupt rhino Republicans, and show them the door.
Does he sound like Trump or what? Has he been doing Trump's voice this whole time? Is Trump just like, one of those, what the heck was that guy's name? Jeff something. I think his name was Jeff, that had the ventriloquist dummies. I don't know. But listen, not only try now not to focus on the voice, but basically he's putting the word out to Republicans that it's either you're with us or against us. And it'll be interesting to see how Republicans respond to this.
Eating, country club belonging, corrupt rhino Republicans, and show.
Okay, I got to stop here again because it just dawned on me. Country club going. Where's Trump? Trump's on a country club golf course like 6 to 7 days a week. But it's okay for him, for everybody else.
Show them the door.
And look at the 35 people there in attendance.
Make no mistake about what we face, folks. This is eating, country club belonging, corrupt rhino Republicans and show them the door.
I don't know, it sounds too much like Trump to me. He does a better Trump than I do, obviously. And Walter was the guy. Walter looks kind of like Biden, to be honest with you. So I don't know if that would be fitting, but you know who I'm talking about. Jeff something, I forget what his name was. He's incredible ventriloquist. If not that I'm a aficionado, but I do recognize talent when I see it. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
The war in Ukraine, I really truly believe that it's causing, in our participation by prolonging it, because we are prolonging it when we're providing more weapons and more just providing it. It means that we're giving them the ability to fight longer, when inevitably and very tragically for Ukraine, it appears that Russia will win this conflict. And
the lie has switched. And this is incredibly dangerous. I don't care if you're a Republican, if you're Democrat, if you're independent, if you're apolitical. If you're an American, please hear this. If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. Accuse the other side of that which you are guilty. Propaganda works best. Okay? If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. What's happening here is the big lie is switched. Okay, the big lie is not going to, there's going to be a handful of sycophants that keep saying Trump won, Trump won, Trump won. The majority of America, and it's getting to be a fairly large majority, understand that Trump didn't win. And a lot of them are saying, and we gotta make sure Trump never comes back, or nothing like him ever comes back. And we're gonna have to be diligent in those things. But the big lie has switched. The big lie is now Ukraine is going to lose the war. And they will if we don't do something. If the world doesn't do something, they will. There are too many people that want Ukraine to lose the war, and they talk like we just heard. Okay, Tucker Carlson, I'm for Russia. I want Russia to win. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There are too many people in our country in an influential position that want Russia to win. Why? Because they think Russia's going to win. And when Russia wins, they want to be on Russia's side. It's not about America, it's about them. I'm sorry, but try to argue with me. It's not about America, it's about them. They're wanting to further themselves by selling out America. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. If you're watching this show, you're nothing. You're nobody to the people in Washington, D.C., to each other, to ourselves. We cannot allow that projection to diminish us in any way, shape, or form as individuals or as a collective group of humanity. We're one race, the human race. We are human beings. And the one thing that is overarching throughout everything that's happening at the moment is we're losing being human. It's scary to me. Be not afraid. It's concerning to me. Too many people want Russia to win that are influencers. Why? Are they on the payroll now? Is something promised to them? And this whole time, America is afraid that Russia is going to be involved in our elections. We can't do any more because Russia has threatened to get involved in our. Russia's been involved in our elections since 2016, if not before. That is a straw man, Democrats. Don't sell out democracy, Democrats. Joe Biden's looking weak. Boris Johnson. Pardon me. Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of England, walked the streets of Kyiv with Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. And I said when Biden was over there, we need to take Air Force One, fly it directly into Kyiv, make a statement. And instead, the statement today is the President of the United States has no plans to visit Kyiv. Democrats, you better take the gloves off for two things. You better take the gloves off and start seriously going after Trump and the criminal organization. It's not the entire Republican Party, but it's a significant number of them. And they are senators and they are Congress people and they are in the various, the post office. Okay. And you better get serious about stopping Putin. This is not about Ukraine. Ukraine is the total focus now. Slava Ukraine. But this has never been about Ukraine. And now Russia's admitting it even more. Let me find that. Oh, it's our feel-good story. That's my, there we go. I'm sorry. Got on a little bit of a tangent there, but it's a worthy tangent. And Russian special operation. This is from Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, the number 2 guy. All right, Putin's right-hand man. Russia's special operation in Ukraine is meant to end U.S. world dominance. Okay. I said it from the very start. I've stuck by it and I'm still sticking by it. Russia and China are trying to take the United States to its knees, and our political leaders are allowing it to happen. Trump is begging for it to happen. So hopefully Russia will come and threaten the United States that if we don't put Trump back in, he's going to nuke us. You don't think that's a distinct possibility? No, I'm not down a rabbit hole at all. There is a major right-wing federation across the world that is becoming more and more evident. And we need to be aware of it. War is peace. Slavery is freedom. Ignorance is powerful. That's from George Orwell, 1984, the book 1984. War is peace. That's exactly what's happening right now in Russia. You cannot say the word war. If you say it once, you get a fine. If you say it a second time, You go to prison for up to 15 years. War is peace. You can't say war. The only way you can have peace in Russia is by not saying war. Slavery is freedom. Russians think they're free, but yet they have no independent media. They have no right to assembly. They have no free speech. You can't say the word war. I could go on. If we want that for America, then just everybody just be quiet. Don't demand anything from anybody, and just let's just wait and see what let's just wait and see what happens. But we, in my opinion, we need to start being prepared. We need to start organizing. We need voices. We need leaders. We need young leaders. People aren't going to listen to somebody like me, obviously. You know, maybe 1,000 people watch this show when it's all said and done. That's nothing. But the things that we show here and we share here, more people need to be aware, because we are in a very dark time. And I tell you, be a light. And there are more lights. There are more people that are becoming light instead of dark, or instead of ambivalent, but not near enough. And when I say don't be afraid, be not afraid, it doesn't mean do crazy things. It doesn't mean think yourself invincible. It means be a light. Try to be a peaceful human being, but don't be a sacrifice. The Talmud from the Old Testament, the original rabbis' interpretations, the Talmud says, if you know someone is coming to kill you, rise up and kill them first. There's a difference between murdering and killing. If I know somebody's coming to kill me and I kill them in self-defense, I have killed somebody. If I go and I just shoot somebody, I have murdered them. It's semantics, but there's a difference. So I'm not saying everybody run out and buy a gun, and damn sure don't get a ghost gun. That's going to be the big thing, because that's the Democrats getting tough without really understanding anything. And one of the major problems with Democrats is they're they think one way. I can't think of the word. I've got the word in my head and I can't get it out. I'm sorry. Monolithic thinking. They think that because they're in Washington, D.C., if it's a Republican idea, it has to be a bad idea. And Republicans are the same way. If it's a Democratic idea, it has to be a bad idea. Democrats, therefore, will not even think about an advantage to having a gun for themselves, especially in harrowing times, because they have been taught that all guns are bad, and guns in the hands of the wrong people are bad. Yeah, they are. And I believe in that you should go through a background check before you get a gun. I believe you ought to have instruction. But Indiana, at the end of this month, anybody that wants to can carry a gun. And we need those of us that are not diehard Republicans. We need to start realizing that some of the things that you may think are strictly Republican, like survival, you might start investigating. You'll find that a lot of places are going to be labeled patriot, all right, because that's who's been buying all these things. But if you can afford it, get a portable solar charger and a portable battery pack so you can keep your refrigerator running if the electricity goes out for a few days. If you can afford to do something like that, have some food on hand. We've talked about these things before. An emergency radio. Storms today, Wednesday, they're going to be mega storms in the United States. There's going to be everything from snow to tornadoes to lightning strikes that cause fires because the ground is so dry in some areas, where some areas are overly saturated, like where I'm at, and we're just going to get more and more saturated. And the risk of tornadoes. And it's April. In 1974, in April, I think it was the 22nd, I was in an F5 tornado. I was in a high school, and it basically destroyed the gymnasium. And a very good friend of mine happened to be in the laundry room adjacent to the gymnasium underneath a big wooden table, and it took the roof off of the gymnasium and just basically carried it almost a half a mile down to where the football field was. But anyway, do not be monolithic thinkers, and just say, if you're a liberal, don't say, well, I'm a liberal, okay, you're a liberal. And if you don't want to, if you don't want a gun, don't get a gun, because it's not, it takes time to be comfortable, and it takes practice to even think about drawing it, let alone drawing it and shooting it at something, let alone drawing it and possibly shooting it at something shooting back at you. Okay. So have something to protect yourself at all times. Bear spray, pepper spray, ninja skills. Sorry, I got off on another tangent there, but I'm not sorry, because I've said things are moving fast, and I still feel that way. Things have slowed down for me as a person, but what I see going on in the world is moving faster and faster and faster and faster. I got a couple other videos to share. Again, too many people. Think about it. Just think for a few minutes. Just stop and think. How many Americans in influential positions are supporters of Russia? I mean, we know about Madison Cawthorn. We know about him. He came right out and said Zelensky's a thug, and but how many others? All right, a little bit of goodness amongst all of the realness, some good realness. This is okay. These are Ukrainian soldiers. Just a montage of animals they've rescued and trying to find homes for. Some of the animals have just adopted these soldiers because of the terror they have gone through. it's just a little goodness again in everything going on bad. This was our first report that came in about the toxic substance. Again, it came in 7 hours ago, and my confirmation came from a minister of parliament from Ukraine at 3:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. People were wondering why Russians were digging trenches in the Red Forest by the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. As unbelievable as it is, their map was from 1985, and Chernobyl happened in 1986. So when they reported they didn't know they were at Chernobyl, they didn't know they were at Chernobyl. I kind of laughed it off, but now it's amazing. Large Russian convoy moving towards the Donbass, and this is a large Russian convoy. And again, this was yesterday their time, earlier today our time, massive convoy. So Russia is indeed preparing for a major onslaught. It's already begun, according to Vlad and a couple of others. But as you can see, it just goes and goes and goes. And Zelensky said last night, the president of Russia last night on CBS 60 Minutes, he said, the United States knows that the only way we can win this war is if the United States gets involved. And we know as Ukrainians that the only way we can win this war if the United States gets involved. And we're not going to get involved. And our world is going to significantly change. And it's going to change sooner rather than later. I'm going to try not to keep harping on being prepared for things, but we need to be prepared for things. This gives you an idea of the number of planes that are just tankers. All right, these are just the tankers that are over Central and Eastern Europe. They are filling up cargo planes in midair, jet fighters, surveillance craft, and we are keeping a good eye on things for Ukraine. I just wish we would give them the MiG fighter jets that they need. And if we, as America, if we provided a true no-fly zone, just let them fight it out on the ground. Even with all those troops, I'm still betting on Ukraine. But I just have a feeling that there are too many people that don't want Ukraine to win, that are afraid of the Wookiee from Star Wars. Hans tells Luke, let the Wookiee win. I like Wookiees, but in this case, the Wookiee is significant with Putin, or synonymous with Putin. And Marjorie Taylor Greene saying what she said, I hope we're not getting sold out. I hope we go down with a fight if we are, but I wish I was more optimistic about things. For the second time in only 24 hours, Palestinians had defaced Joseph's tomb. We showed you that last night. A holy site for Jews as well as for Christians and Muslims. I don't know if you remember this or not from the George Floyd. I get sick to my stomach every time I play this. During the George Floyd protests, this 76-year-old man was pushed to the ground, busted his head open. You can see the blood starting to come out. One cop started to help him, and the other ones, I can remember doing this. I remember the night this happened and saying the same things I'm saying now as it was happening then. These are the two police officers, Robert McCabe and Aaron Torgasky. After investigating the matter, no charges will be filed. And if Donald Trump were standing there as a 76-year-old man and police officers pushed him over like that, there would be an outcry. We're nothing. We're nobody to people with power and influence. And that's just the way it is. All we are is a vote. We're a vote and a potential slave to whatever. And it makes me sad because some things you learn aren't always good. Because I was taught America's great. America's the greatest place on earth, and America's full of people that love America, and I think we're getting sold out. I'm sorry. Cluster bombs. I'm not going to talk philosophy here and what I think is going to happen. I'm going to finish up with news. Our final story for the night. Video from Kharkiv showing, you'll see the initial explosion, and then you'll see that explosion sends out a lot of miniature bombs, and you'll see them going off. There's the original strike. And then you see the cluster bombs going off after the original strike. Here's one right here. So they're designed to kill multiple targets. And this is our best video thus far of Russia actually using them. They keep denying that they're doing all of these things. But they are. And the America I grew up believing in would be stopping this. After we saw what happened in Bucha, after everything that, of course, America doesn't know everything that we know, and that's a problem. That's a problem. But be not afraid. Do not give up hope. Believe in yourself. Believe in goodness. Believe in a higher power, whatever you may call that higher power. And be prepared. We are going to see ugly things. All right. We're seeing ugly things now. We are going to personally see ugly things. Ugly things are going to be happening here in our country, and we're going to be seeing them. And first step is to prepare yourselves that it may happen, and don't be, don't be so shell shocked that you can't respond or react. Last night, after we got done with the episode, I said that was the final story. I forgot about. I forgot about this. Last night, after we got off the air or offline. I'm sorry, I'm used to broadcasting. After we got offline, there was a report that Poland had attacked Belarus, and we've got footage of the border incident. There was a border incident. It was not in any way, shape, or form an attack on Belarus, but that's how it's being presented to Russia, that Poland has attacked Belarus. Why? They're wanting to justify action against Poland. And here's what really occurred. This is the actual border crossing. This is the Polish soldier basically just shining a light across the line. And they're just shining their lights on the other side. There was no mortar attack. There was no missile attack. There was no attack at all. They just walked up and checked out the border. And the Belarusians went totally to the other side of the building. So I just wanted to get that out there because that's going to be probably coming up in the news, that oh my gosh, Poland attacked Russia. This is a young Russian giving the Nazi salute. He was banned from racing, but however, he was able to race for an Italian team under the Italian flag. So thank you all for watching. It's been real. Okay. You don't come to this show to get told what you want to hear. Nobody does that. People that watch this show know that I don't tell you what to think or how to think. I'm just giving you things to think about. And we got a lot to think about because we've got enemies, domestic and abroad. Our enemies are foreign and our enemies are domestic. And when I say our, I'm talking about people that love freedom, love democracy, love the United States as it used to be. Where we're heading now, the far right of the Republican Party, who claim they're for freedom, yet they want to ban books. They want to ban how you can vote. They want to ban all abortions, even if incest or rape. And in some states, they're trying to pass bills that the man that does the raping has rights to the child. The criminal is going to be a victim if he doesn't have rights. And maybe you're okay with that. But they're wanting to ban everything, but yet you can't say gay. Don't say gay. Don't go to Disney World. That it's the biggest lie that they're for freedom. And the big lie, remember, the big lie was Trump won. Okay. The big lie now is Russia's the good guys. Russia's the good guys. And I showed you earlier what Russian foreign minister said. This is all about changing the balance of power and destroying America. When somebody tells you they're going to do something, believe them. When you know Russia's coming to kill us, rise up and kill them first. It's a mumbled up, jumbled up, shook up world. I'll tell you what, I got 4 minutes here. I'm going to hop into chat for just a couple of minutes. I haven't done this in a long time. I'm going to open it up. Sissy, thank you so much. Sissy's at the top of the chat list here. Sissy, thank you so much for everything you do. And I know you have a kind of personal connection to some things about January 6th. If you decide you ever want to come on and talk about those things, just let me know. I haven't brought it up in the past. I've meant to, but I haven't. Hello to Renee, Henry, Renegade, Jarm Vicious, Jama Vicious. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. And anybody else I missed? Theo, Pat, Marcus. I'm just reading through names. I'm not reading the comments. Just thank you all. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for being with me. And thank you for all you do. I need you all, you know. I need you all. Because this keeps me sane. And when the whole world's going insane, the most important thing is for, you know, when the whole world's losing its mind, the most important thing is to keep yours. So that's why I tell you some of these things, so that if what happens, if we get sold out, if whatever it is, the far right wing has all but declared war on anybody that doesn't look like them or think like them. So that's about 13% of the population at the moment, according to estimates. They're going to say they're bigger, larger, blah, blah, blah. Great, great, great. You know, but that's about 13% of the population. And that's a tiny minority to be in power. But there are many other countries in the world that are in that exact same situation right now as we speak. And there are many cases around the world where people are just eliminating anyone that it's called genocide, just eliminating an entire race, creed, or philosophy that doesn't agree with you. I hope and pray that never happens here in the United States, but I think we've let our guard down, and I think we may be in an incredibly vulnerable position, because we should be displaying power to the world. We should be the world leader. We should be that light, that shining light on the hill that George H.W. Bush talked about, that is the beacon of freedom and democracy. And And yet they've got us so divided that if something does happen here, we're not going to know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. And we need to change that. We need to change that. So I'm not sure exactly how, but I'm working on it. And it's not going to be something that I can do. It's not going to be something I can do. It's going to be something somebody else has to do. We're going to have leaders, real movement leaders, Martin Luther King kind of leaders, Bobby Kennedy kind of leaders. And what we've got now are oligarchs running our country. You know, Republicans always talk about the Democratic elite. Well, Ted Cruz graduated from Harvard. Tom Cotton, I believe, graduated from Harvard or Yale. How much more elite can you get? Call the other side what you're guilty of. We know all the, we know all the commandments of propaganda when you have an enemy. And they want us to be ignorant because knowledge is not a good thing. Run you back one more time to our list that the Nazi Joseph Goebbels, the Reich Minister for Public Enlightenment of the Nazi Party, it is vitally important for the state to repress dissent. A number of states have passed laws that you cannot protest. For the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus the greatest enemy of the state. Told you earlier what the next big lie is going to be, that Russia's indeed the good guys. China's telling that now. Russia's been telling it, and it's going to catch hold here because too many people only look one direction. If you only look one direction, you only see one thing. If all you're seeing is Fox News, Russia's going to be the good guy in your eyes. Think about that, everybody else. That's real. It's not fear mongering. It's just saying it how it is, and that's dangerous. It's dangerous. Thank you for watching. I truly love you all. I really do. And I wish blessings upon each and every one of you. For your fellow Christian, it's Holy Week. Those that may not know, I retired from ministry in 2008, actually. I'm sorry, 2018. No, it wasn't. It was yeah, okay. And I understand why a lot of Christians are turning from the faith, because there are a lot of people that are besmirching Christianity. That's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and close out. I love you. Blessings if you're a fellow Christian on this Holy Week. Namaste. Shalom. Salam. Blessings upon all of you. Tomorrow's going to be a bad day. The 12th of April is going to be a bad day. And we'll be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow night to talk about it. Thanks for watching. I love you all. Say a prayer if you're a praying person for the people of Ukraine, for the people of America, for your family, your friends, and I hope you include me as one of your friends. I love you all. See you tomorrow night at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time.